Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Alex from Fathom Aquatics. This is my new fish room, and today I want to go through a package that I got in the mail. So part of having a new fish room is I just moved everything, and not all my plants made it across the move because I had to move them in the back of my truck and it was super hot and a lot of them just died. So I reached out to some friends, and Curtis from Skull Aquatics sent me a really awesome box. And I already opened it just to take a look and to cover up anything that could reveal my address or his address or whatever. You never know how things are on the internet. But I want to show first off how he packages everything, because this is the best packaging I've ever got from a hobbyist. And then I just want to go over some of the things that he sent me and maybe talk a little bit about what I'm going to be doing with them. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on my table and move the camera around, and let's take a look at what we got. So here's the box from Curtis, and Curtis, I really appreciate you sending this out to me. I'm really thankful to get a whole bunch of these plants and start trying to plant some of these tanks up a little bit more because they're looking kind of bare. But Curtis, or Skull Aquatics, as many of you know him by, he's a really great dude. He specializes in all sort of live bearers like Limia and Gadeids, as well as your more hard to find mollies, swordtail guppies, that kind of thing. And if that's something you like, then maybe reach out to him. I'll have his email down below, or I'll just say it now. It's skullaquatics@gmail.com. I'll probably have it on the screen here somewhere. He's a great dude, and he's got all kinds of videos on his channel about his breeding setups and how he does everything, and it's honestly just kind of like a hobbyist show off. He's got some really cool stuff, and he's just known for being that guy that's got the cool stuff everyone wants. If you have anything that you like that fits into like that live bear category, or maybe even some basic plants like what I got from him, then shoot him an email or find him on Instagram, Skull Aquatics on Instagram. So let's just go ahead and open this and see what we got here. And the first thing that I noticed whenever I opened this was that, wow, he actually insulated this box. And I'm really appreciative of that, because when this was dropped off at my driveway, it was almost 100 degrees. And keeping the whole box insulated was a good call, because it sat out there for a little bit before I could get to it. Even though there's no fish in this box, it keeps the plants alive too. And one thing, this is just a little gag gift. I'm gonna have to put this in one of my tanks and show everybody, because I don't usually have plastic plants, but this is just too funny. So Curtis, I'm gonna put this in one of my tanks. I'll make sure you see it. Thanks for this. Alright, let's see what we have here next. So this, I believe, is a bag of Christmas moss, and as you can see, these bags are vacuum sealed, and it's actually double bagged as well. It looks like the inside bag is vacuum sealed as well, and this is a huge clump. So I might try getting some string and wrapping this around some driftwood or something. I know it's not the best thing you can see on camera when it's double bagged like this, but this is just a really nice good sized clump of Christmas moss. The next bag, as you can see here, it's also double bagged, vacuum sealed. This is some kind of Ludwigia. I'm not really sure. Some of them look like, some of the leaves look a little red. And I asked Curtis about it, and he said that this does turn red if you get the right light on it. So this will be really nice in some of my tanks. And I'm always a big fan of stem plants, because you can kind of, very easy to propagate them. You just trim them and plant them, and they'll just keep growing and growing and giving you more. So that's really cool. Thanks for that. Let's see here. The next thing is these are stickers, and they are facing each other, so you can't see it. So let me just go ahead and open this so we could check out these stickers. I like that he even sealed the stickers in case one of the bags burst, that the stickers wouldn't get ruined. Oh sweet, I got two different sizes. I didn't even see the little ones in there. So some Skull Aquatics stickers. I'm definitely putting one of these on my aquarium stand that I have all my stickers on, and I'll start putting all these around the room. This is awesome. Thanks, Curtis. Next up, we have a bag of Vallisneria. I'm not sure exactly which type of val this is, but looks like a lot of really healthy roots, and there's a lot of plant in here. These are really sweet. Hopefully they start shooting out runners for me. It looks like some of these have some little tiny runners coming off already. I can't wait. I'm going to put these in a little grow out tank, and hopefully they start propagating for me. Next up is a nice bag of crypts. Again, not really sure which type of crypts, but there's a whole bunch of assorted crypts in here. There's a ton actually. These are really nice, and I'm definitely going to fill out these tanks with this. And the last bag here is another bag of all kinds of assorted crypts, and this is an even bigger bag than the last one. It probably has twice as much. And there's even some snails in here too, and I know a lot of people complain about snails, but I love them. I think snails are great. They're part of the ecosystem. They keep everything going. I think there's way more benefits to having snails than not having snails, and they just kind of keep the ecosystem going, like I said. So I cannot wait to start planting these and seeing how everything looks inside the tank. Now that everything's empty, I could show you inside the box. He basically made his own little cooler with a insulating foam, and it's like totally sealed all the way. It also helps protect the plants inside from any time the box gets like shoved around. So like you could see the box might have been pushed a little bit on this corner, but the foam held everything inside strong. Like you can't even tell on the inside that the box might have taken a little bit of a bump there. You can see the box has a little bit of you know, shipping and handling wear and tear. Even if this foam liner somehow got damaged, I'm still pretty confident that these plants would have made it alive. Everything is double bagged, vacuum sealed. This is really just kind of like the best case scenario whenever you're trying to order stuff online. So this is a really easy setup. Anyone can do this. It's just a sorted substrate with a sponge filter and a light. There's no heater because the room is like 75 degrees anyway. This is really just plants, so everything should be just fine in here. Now the substrate here is kind of the secret sauce. Everybody has their own kind of thing they like to do. Now this tank is a mix of aqua soil and a few different types of gravel. And I know one of the types of gravel is a blend of different types of like actual stone, which is nice. And then it has a little bit of crushed coral and some like broken shells and stuff. You might see some of those around here. And I find that kind of like slowly leaches out little bits of trace elements and also gives a little bit of buffer to the water. And I think that the plants kind of benefit from that, and sometimes different fish do as well. So that's why I have that in here. It looks kind of wacky, but I've got like, I don't know, a few inches of the soil. Here's my hand for scale. A nice deep substrate to help these plants put out some nice healthy roots and you know, have all the nutrients they need for growing. And I'm not really too concerned about this glass. I know it's really dirty, but this is just a like a plant farm tank. Hopefully these plants will start to propagate, and then I can pull plants from here and start putting them in my other tanks. All right, so I'm just sitting here in front of this tank. I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of these plants and start opening up these bags. I just have a bucket here in front of me, and I'm going to cut open these bags and pour them all into a bucket. First up, I'm going to start with what I think is the Ludwigia, and we've got a few good stems of these. I'm just going to put these up here for a second. So first up, I'm going to start with some Ludwigia. I think it's Ludwigia. Here's what it looks like out of the water. If anyone knows what this is, please, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. Let me know, because I'd really like to make sure I know what this is. It looks like it's been growing this way, but these are actually the bottom of the leaf, so I think I planted it like this. So let's go ahead and start putting some of this in here. All right, we've got our first set of plants in here, and I'm just trying to keep things in a little bit of a neat row, just because it's not a aquascape. It's gonna be a farm tank where I can pull plants from here, so it's just gonna make things a little bit easier on me. All right, next bag is the Vallisneria, and let me try to open this without actually cutting the plants, because some of them are right up against the top. Oh, this water smells really good after being in a bag in the hot sun for you know, a few days. A lot of these, you could tell they were grown together and just kind of started shooting off runners. So I'm gonna separate these out and start planting them. And again, I'm going to try to do some nice little neat rows in here so that they're easy to start pulling out whenever I need them. This is a good example of showing how these propagate. They shoot out these little runners. Like this little stem here is actually a runner, and it connects both of these plants together. And these are two separate plants, so you could actually just pull these apart and then just plant them. All right, I got most of those in there. It's kind of settled a little bit, but obviously it's going to be really cloudy because I'm planting a bunch of stuff and there's soil in there. But let me go ahead and open this next bag, and this is the smaller bag of crypts. As I started planning those out, I'm trying to leave enough spacing in between so that they're not too crowded. But I've also starting to run out of room a little bit, so I'm just trying to make sure I've got room for all these crypts. So I was gonna just have it like half the tank, but I'm just gonna put them over here, and whatever I have extra, I'm gonna put over here. And if I don't have any room in this tank for the moss, then I'm just gonna go ahead and start putting the moss in my other tanks, because I can always use it in some of the other things I got going on. And since this bag and the other bag are crypts, I'll just go ahead and open both these bags and get them ready. And I'm just dumping these out into a bucket here, and that's gonna make things nice and easy because there's some snails, and I'm gonna make sure I can pull these snails out and make sure those go in some tanks too. All right, I got most of these separated, so I'm gonna go ahead and start planting them out. To make this a little easier on myself, I'm just gonna start on the far edge and then start working my way in. Okay, so it's been about an hour since I put everything in. Obviously it's gonna be a little cloudy because I disturbed the substrate a whole bunch. That'll settle over time. But now that everything's in there, I'm just gonna go ahead and add some fertilizer. I'm using Aquarium Co-op's Easy Green. And I'm just gonna pour some of it into a measuring cup and then just add it to the top. And then there we go. So again, huge thanks to Curtis from Skull Aquatics for sending me all this stuff. All these plants are going to go to great use here, and I can't wait to hopefully get a whole bunch of them to start sending out runners, and I'll just be able to pull from this tank whenever I'm actually starting to get to the point where I'm putting in substrate and filling in a bunch of these tanks. So thanks a lot, Curtis. And again, as I mentioned before, Curtis specializes in all sorts of live bearers, mostly the hard to find and unique stuff. So if you're looking for anything like that, or even some basic plants like I got here, then send Curtis an email at skullaquatics@gmail.com, or you can find him on Instagram. It's Skull Aquatics on Instagram, and I'll have all that in the description. I'm sure I'm gonna have it on the screen when I'm editing this. But again, thanks a lot, Curtis, and guys, go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. Make sure that you're sending some love his way because he's supporting this channel, so let's go ahead and support him, guys. Thanks everybody for watching and hanging out with me as I get everything out of this box and put it in this tank. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm excited to see what I'm going to be able to do with these plants in the future, but until then, I'll see you in the next one.